I'm starting to really enjoy games that can't be boxed into a genre, and I've been lucky to get some unique games to review in recent times that challenge not only my taste, but my brain as well. Continuing the trend of thinking outside the box comes Match Village from Rising Moon Games and Qbyte Interactive. What's it like? No need to prepare your armies, start planning your layout, and get building as we review Match Village on Nintendo Switch. Before we get building, would you mind liking and subscribing? It's the best way that creators like me get found on YouTube, and I can't thank you enough for doing so. Match Village doesn't give you a lot of direction from the start, and you are simply dealt some tiles in the bottom right hand corner of your screen to place wherever you see fit. The initial lack of direction may seem off-putting at first, but after a few turns, you start discovering the mechanics of the game. You need to build up to a certain score to be able to start a new expedition and build on a new island, carrying over your remaining tiles. It's not easy at first, and you will learn to build the same type of buildings close together so they can merge into the next building in its chain, while also creating space to place more buildings. It does actually require a lot of forethought. Certain buildings should be built away from others to avoid a negative score, but thankfully, the game does give you an indicator of these penalties or bonuses before you start placing your buildings. If you incorrectly place something, there is a handy undo button that sacrifices the tile but saves the space you were placing it on, which certainly comes in handy in later stages. The later stages do bring more mechanics to the table, with building on stilts, as well as the ability to expand land with both wooden and grass platforms, allowing you a little bit more freedom to reach that target score. Those who reach the target score need to be cautious and make sure they have enough tiles to move on to the next area, as I made the mistake of moving forward with only 2 tiles, instantly failing and having to restart. Graphically, the game does look rather simple, although it doesn't really need to be flash. It mostly does a good enough job of building world immersion with a bright palette of greens and blues that contrast with the colour of the buildings. But that being said, there are a few buildings that can look similar, causing frustrating placement mistakes, like the basic house and the workshop style building, which cost me a lot of combo issues due to the similarities. You do eventually get used to checking your tile stacks, but I do wish they made the roof colour a bit different or gave it something else to make it a little bit easier to differentiate. Despite its simple look, Match Village is quite fun to play, and even while capturing this footage for the review, I found I lost a few hours while trying to make it as far along as possible. It's not without its frustrations, however, as I did encounter a few game-ruining bugs. Mainly my cursor disappeared when moving the camera, forcing me to restart, or the camera was not really being able to show me where the building was as it rotates on a fixed axis, and on one occasion I was unable to rotate the camera at all, thinking I'd broken my controller. But even with these issues, I still had no problem restarting and pushing forward to play on and try and discover what else the game had in store for me. It's just fun. For my vision impaired city builders, there are no accessibility options, so further research might be required to see if Match Village is for you. Match Village is a fun game, and it's great to help burn a few hours away on. For the asking price of less than $9 Australian, there's enough gameplay and replayability to warrant a purchase. There are some frustrations, however, as it could use a little bit more polish when it comes to the camera controls. But its simplistic, city building fun counters these shortcomings with a relaxing puzzle game that's sure to occupy your time until your next big game. So, what's it like? Match City is like Islanders crossed with Bejeweled. I award it a 74 out of 100. In the interest of full disclosure, a review copy was provided by the publisher, but this does not affect my score. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. The best way you can support me is to like and subscribe and continue watching my content if you enjoy it. But if you do want to go that bit extra, you can buy me a coffee or join our Patreon, which shows you behind the scenes of this channel. Thanks again.